Welcome back to New Zealand. Today's been a strange day. It's been a funny old day in that I set off this morning, went out for a bike ride. I did maybe 40-45 k's on the push bike, all on the flats. Great time. On the way back to the house, sort of took a roundabout and a big old truck got a bit close to me, so I sort of took evasive action and tried to get up on the curb. Unfortunately the curb was a little bit higher than what I expected and I did a serious bit of face planting. So I've got a bit of a bruised arm, a bruised sort of thumb, bruised knee, a few cuts and grazes, nothing major. One tip from me though, always wear your helmet, because I tell you what, I have never liked wearing helmets when I'm cycling, never liked it, just don't like it at all. I wore it today and as I hit the deck, my head bang straight into the deck, and I mean proper hit with some serious force. If I hadn't have had the helmet on, I would have been in the shit, without a shadow of a doubt. So always wear your helmet. Tip from Uncle Paul. Anyway, back to reality. So I thought I'd come out for a beautiful evening, so I thought I'd come out for a walk down the riverbank, pick out a few shots. Unfortunately, it's not going to plan. I can't really see anything that excites me overly. And also I've got a problem with the drone as well. It just won't connect to the remote controller. So I thought I'd do an introduction here for the video that I'm going to put together, which is, it's another film video. So basically I got the old Olympus 35 SP through the post, put a roll of film through it. Unfortunately things seemed to go okay, and then when I went to rewind the film, I depressed the button at the base of the camera, started rewinding the crank, it just wasn't rewinding correctly. So instead of holding my horses and sort of working out what had gone wrong, I did what I normally do and dive in head first and just give it a little bit extra jip. Unfortunately, the film rewound. I got it out with the camera, took it into the lab, and when the lab tried to get out of the canister, unfortunately I'd shredded most of the perforations. So they've had to do it manually, that film. Anyway, it's a learning curve. Apparently I've got to hold that button in the whole time while I'm rewinding. It doesn't actually say that in the manual, but it doesn't work any other way, so obviously that's the way I've got to do it. Anyway, so I got that film back and got a few possible shots of it. I'll post them shortly. And then I put another roll of film through it and just got the results back today, so I'm just going to have a play with them, give them a bit of a scan onto the computer and see what we've got. So it's a bit of a strange one today, a bit stop and start. It's been like that all week actually, up, down. The weather was good, the weather was crap, the weather was good. At the minute it's absolutely stunning. This is winter. Go figure, this is winter. This is about right, 16, 17, 18 degrees I'd say today. Not too bad for winter, not too shabby at all. Anyway guys, the sun's just about to drop and I've got about maybe a couple of k's to walk back to the car. So hope you enjoy the video that's coming up. Out of the shredded film that I messed up, I've got one or two shots that are okay. One that I quite like, that's this one here. So what I thought I'd do, I'd just kind of pick the images out. I just thought I'd talk you through them. So the first one is this one I took at sunrise 2 weeks ago. This is the film that I shredded. So I did this with a handheld meter, and I'm quite impressed. It's quite a nice striking sunrise. Silhouettes on the pier there, on the jetty, and yeah, I think it came out quite nicely, that one. Quite happy with that. The rest of the film, not so much. If I was being critical, which I'm going to be, there are three figures right at the front of the jetty, and if you kind of look to the figure who's obviously taking a photograph with a cell phone or a camera or whatever, I'd guess a cell phone, she or he is too hard up against that pillar there, and I wish there'd have been a little bit of separation. All the other figures are separated, and it's just that one just doesn't work for me. But that's been real critical. Other than that, I quite like this shot. I'm quite impressed. I got one more shot out of this roll of film, this first roll of film, that I'm quite happy with. Bit of a street scene. There's a group of buildings in Napier called the Three Sisters, I believe. Yeah, Three Sisters. And I just got this lady walking past the Three Sisters. It's nothing spectacular, but I quite like it because of if you look into the sky, it's very grainy, and I just love the film grain. I don't think it's the most tack sharp photograph I've ever taken in my life, but I'm quite reasonably happy with it. It's okay, it's quite passable. Okay, moving now onto the second roll of film. Went down to Wellington, had a few hours down in Wellington, and got a few shots. This one particular shot, I quite like this one. Some young fella stood between pillar boxes and whatever else it is there. I quite like it. You know, again, if you kind of zoom in and you look at the detail around his face, and it's quite sharp. It's pretty sharp. I'm impressed how sharp it is. But there's a lot of grain in there. Now this is a 400 ASA ISO film, and but I just love the grain that you get from film. You just can't get that from digital. Digital, too smooth, it's too clean, it's too crisp, it's too perfect, which is great. I mean, I'm not knocking that, but I just love the grain effect. All right, third shot, or second shot from Wellington. I thought I'd leave this one in colour, just because there's some quite nice colour on the pillar box there, and there's some quite nice, I think it must be some sort of transformer box or some sort of power box, whatever, and somebody's obviously painted a mural on it. I quite like that. It's nice and vibrant, the colours are good, super critical again. I think the gentleman walking past with the shopping bags, if I'd have just got a little bit more light on his face, just to make him stand out from that shadow, I think that would have been quite a nice shot. We've got the addition of a little pigeon sat in the bottom corner there between the two boxes. Just adds a little bit of interest to it. Okay, so moving on to my third shot. This is the nephew, and we passed a place obviously called Leeds Street, and we're both avid Leeds United supporters. We used to live 10 miles away from the city of Leeds, so Leeds Street, and the nephew thought it'd be quite cool to sort of pose in front of it. Now, you can leave this one in colour, but I think the colours are a little bit too vibrant. I've tried dousing them down, I've tried dulling them down a little bit, but it's still too vibrant, so I converted it to black and white, and I think the black and white just works a treat, no problem at all. Quite happy with that shot. It's nice and sharp, a little bit of grain in there, which again just adds to it. It's quite a nice shot. This one, kind of a hit and miss. I do like the shot. I like the idea of the shot. You know, you've got an old building there, and there's a lot of graffiti, a lot of old posters, signage in the windows. You've got a funky looking yellow card in the middle, and the people walking past, again, I kind of missed that, unfortunately. It would have been better just a single person or a couple of people walking by just separated, but these two people sort of merged into one, and I think from a street photography point of view, I think I missed on that one. But the frontage of the building I quite like. It's got a lot of character to it. Quite like that shot. I think that's a shot that may grow on me. I did convert it to black and white, but I absolutely prefer this one in colour, and I'm not normally a colour fan for street photography. I generally like black and white, but this works okay. Okay, next shot. Now this fellow, we're walking along the waterfront, and I saw this dude. He was just kind of sat there all cool, looking out towards the ocean, and I set the camera up, got a focus on him, and then he just kind of turned towards us a little bit, and I wanted to get some smoke coming out of the cigarette, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, it didn't light up. He just kind of put the cigarette in the mouth and left it there. So yeah, go figure. But I quite like this shot. I did convert it to black and white, which does work. It's quite a nice shot in black and white, but I think the addition of colour, because he's got some quite nice sort of smoky sunglasses on, and his wavy sort of blondie gingery hair, I think it looks pretty cool. I quite like that shot. I'm quite impressed how the colours have come out. I'm quite impressed with the grain again. Quite like the shot. Okay, so I think that's one of my favourite shots so far. This one was in the train station at Wellington. Not technically perfect, a little bit too bright on the left hand upper side. He's walking through the frame quite nicely. I don't know, I'm unsure about this shot, unsure about it. It may grow on me, not at the moment, but it may do. This last shot was back in Napier, just to finish off the roll of film, to be honest. Of trawlermen just offloading their catch. The one thing I kind of missed on this shot, it's quite a nice shot, I quite like the shot. There's a lot of detail in there, a lot of grain, some nice contrast, nice expressions on the fellas' faces. The one thing I kind of missed out on really was the fact that I didn't get the actual fish coming out of the bucket because they had the bucket too low into the barrel. Quite a nice scene. I'm impressed with that. So on the whole, going back through the photographs, out of 2 rolls of 24 shots, and if I take out the ones I'm unsure of, I could probably squeeze that down to 8 photographs. So 8 from 48, that means 40 wasted shots. I'm good at maths, aren't I? So that's 40 shots wasted. Expense wise, is that worth it? And that's what I've got to weigh up. I don't know. I like the idea of the film. I like the idea, I love the grain, I love the feel of the photographs. I don't know if it's worth the expense. Digital, it doesn't cost anything. Once you've got the first outlay, that's it, you're finished. There's no more expense. And you can rattle off as many photographs as you like to get the shot that you want. I don't know, I just don't know. I love the process of film. You know, going out with 24 frames, that's all you've got. And one thing I do like, and it's quite quirky, is, and it sounds quite strange, but I do like the fact that when you take a photograph on a film camera, you don't see the image on the back of the camera. It sounds strange, but I quite like that, because it saves, after every shot, you know, with digital, every shot you kind of chimp, you know, you look down the camera and see what you've got. I'm thinking about, the next time I go out and do street photography in particular, I'm thinking tape a piece of card over the LCD screen at the back to stop me looking at the photographs on the back. Don't know, might be an interesting little exercise. We'll see. Anyway, guys, I think I've waffled on a little bit too long now. It's just banging on a bit on the film experiment. I think I will stick with it to a certain degree. I don't think I'll shoot any landscapes with a film. I might stick with film for street. After all, why not? I've got the camera, you know. It's quite interesting. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little ramble through my photographs. And if you've enjoyed this, good on you. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. And until next time, from New Zealand, ka kite anō.